Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of our welcome webinar for our incoming students and families, part of our GROWL program. Just want to take a few minutes to introduce what the program today and how we're going to kind of go through this hour we spend together with conversations and questions. Today, we are focusing on information technology and library services. We have Anthony Kelly here from Information Technology, and I'll let him introduce himself in just a minute. And we also have Edna Fugit. She is our Director of Library Services. And they're also, Edna's also an alum. She's already been for their university for a long time. Oh, again, I'm Stephanie Stiltner. I'm the Director of Family Connections, and I'm a member of the orientation team, your GROWL team here at the university. So just a few housekeeping notes before we get started. This webinar and watching these videos does not replace the orientation program that you need to complete as a student on your Canvas course. So you've been enrolled or should have been enrolled in a Canvas course that you have a link to. So make sure you do those required pieces and in the GROWL Canvas course, so we can go ahead and get you to your advisor and go ahead and get you converted to student. So we also want to make sure that you share your contact information with us. So use the chat feature on the side if you have any questions throughout, and we'll make sure we answer those questions, and there's plenty of time for conversation to answer anything you may have at this point. We also letting more folks in the room here, just one second. So like I said, in addition to your GROWL Canvas course, we'll be doing these webinars throughout the summer, just so we get a chance to meet some of our incoming students and families, and you have some FaceTime with us to answer any questions you may have. So I know Edna and Anthony will go ahead and put in just a minute, we'll put their contact information in the chat so you have that. And you can let us know, like I said, if you have any questions along the way. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start out with Edna. If you don't care to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit of overview about the library services, and then we'll kick it over to Anthony to do the same. And Edna, go ahead and introduce Tyler. He's here too.
I was going to. It's cool. There's Tyler on the screen. Tyler Crone is one of our instruction librarians. Tyler, give them your official title.
Sure, yeah. So I'm technically the digital outreach and instruction librarian. So like within the library, I work with a lot of our online classes. So as you guys can expect, like with everything kind of pushing online or doing a lot of stuff there, I've been very busy with doing a lot of kind of helping out with all that kind of things. But you'll also see me in like in-person classes and that kind of a thing.
Thanks. Yeah, so we are used to having an in-person setting just like with everyone else. It's a very unique experience. This last semester has been a fun little game to play, but hopefully this next semester we're going to have a little bit more normalcy. We'll see. I guess nothing's normal. Everything's a little bit different every semester, I guess. But anyway, so Lara, we try to make sure that we can get all of those extra educational needs that you have. So we've got the traditional books, we've got journals, we've got all of that fun stuff. But we also have them in print and we have them in electronic. We're not a huge school, but we have an excellent collection of resources for you to use anywhere. So even if you're on campus or you're all, on or off campus, you can access all of our electronic resources. And when I say that, I mean, we've got ebooks, we've got journals, we've got videos, we have music. There's a wide variety of things that can help you get all of the information that you need to finish your classes. In addition to just basically using that information, we have people like Tyler here who are here to help you. Writing a paper is hard. We know sometimes maybe you made it through high school not writing a paper. Maybe you wrote a paper and you've blocked it out of your memory and you have no idea what you've done. Maybe it's just a whole new format whenever you get to college. So we're here to help you, teach you how to set the whole thing up, teach you a little bit how to do research. Typically, you will find librarians in a lot of your intro classes to kind of help you learn not only how to use our resources, but just how to do the things that you have to do in order to write those papers, get your research projects done. That's what we're here for. We also have a computer lab in the library, largest computer lab on Upper Campus. Due to everything that's been happening, it's a little bit smaller at the moment. One of the priorities that we've had is making sure that our space is safe for you and safe for us. We've been spreading everything out, so we still have our computers, we still have printing. Printing is free here, just in case. That's usually a very big selling point. When everything's online, it makes a little bit of a difference, but whenever you come in, if you need to print something, it's free for black and white and free for color. So you can come in, you can do your research, you can get help, you can print out your paper, you can do all of these things whenever you come into the library. We also offer quiet study space if you just kind of need to get away and study, but we're not quiet. Librarians are not very shushy. So if you need a space that you can collaborate, that you can talk, you can also find that here as well. We also have academic assistance is in the library as well. So if you need additional help, we have that here. Let's see. I can't think of anything else. Tyler, do you think of anything else that might be important as they come through the doors in the beginning?
Not necessarily, except for just to like reiterate that literally our whole job, the reason that we get paid money is to help you guys out with stuff on, like in terms of research and writing and that kind of stuff. So if you're ever running into something that you're having trouble with, or you're not quite sure how to do something, just swing by our reference desk or shoot us an email or something, and we'll be glad to help out. That's literally what our whole job is.
Yeah. And guys, it doesn't have to be about that research paper. Librarians have the tendency to like to answer every question. We don't particularly care where it comes from and what it's about. It doesn't matter if you're looking for a place on campus, if you're wanting something downtown, if you want to know something that's located in a different country and it has nothing to do with class, we don't really care. If there's something that you want to know, if there's something that you need help with, we can do it. Obviously, IT does technology, but we also help. They do it better than we do, but we're happy to help whenever we're here, doing what we can. So anytime that you need something, even if you think it's not something that the library typically does, you'd be surprised what the library can help you with and what we'd be happy to help with. Okay, I'm good, unless somebody has questions now.
Anybody have any questions right now? Nope. Okay, we'll get to questions. I know I have questions. So Anthony, go ahead and give us an overview of IT services, and then we'll get down to some questions.
All right, guys. Like Stephanie said, my name is Anthony Kelly. I'm the help desk manager here for UPike. So a lot of what we do, what you'll find in, you know, as far as the information services, like Edna talked about, we support the computer labs that they have in Alara, and we have a few others on campus. A lot of what we do, you know, we set up your accounts that you can log in with, and what you'll be using for your unified services like Canvas, Web Advisor, email, and that kind of stuff. So a lot of stuff that we typically deal with students on, primarily out of the gate, is just like password management. So if you guys have any issues with your passwords, you know, if you forget your password or have any issues with it, you can always call us. I put my information down in the chat, but I will also put some more information in there as far as contacting our help desk. And also a website I'll put in there as well. Normally, we can get a lot more information if you use the website to submit a ticket. So that's kind of a better way for us to help you out. You know, that we outside of the computer labs, you know, there's a lot more services that we offer. That you guys can connect your phones up to and use. If you're staying in the dorms, we have networks that you guys can connect your gaming consoles and that stuff up to, as well as, one of the big things that, we face right now, everything that a student brings in is just Wi-Fi capable, from your phone to your tablet to your TV, So getting all of those devices online can sometimes be a challenge for you guys whenever you're inside the dorms and you've got a lot of people that are all on the same network. So, we offer those services that we can help you guys do that. And, like Edna was saying, the computer labs, if you guys have any issues, information technology and library services are, they're very, very close knit. And there's a lot of stuff that, like Edna said, if you have any issues in the library, they can help you sometimes, a lot quicker than if you were to put in a Helpdesk ticket, and they're pretty spot on with it. So.
Sounds good. Let me jump in real quick with a question, since you mentioned it. Is, I get questions from families. I work with families of incoming students all the time, and get questions. You said something, all devices are Wi-Fi capable. So what does that mean? I know my phone's got Wi-Fi, and I know my laptop has got Wi-Fi. I may let them take our family iPad to campus, if they need to, but what does that mean for the gaming? I don't know. I'm a mom. I don't game. So, computer, TV, gaming console. What does that mean? Do I have to buy something extra? What does that mean?
Normally, for a lot of the gaming consoles, that they will come with their own Wi-Fi. They're wireless capable. So when you connect up to the internet, instead of connecting up through a wired Ethernet connection, you just select the option to go wireless. And so we have a process that we have a wireless network called Gaming Console that is specific for students' gaming consoles. So there's a process. We've got kind of some how-tos and stuff that we can give the students to kind of walk through that. And if they have any issues, you guys can give us a call and we can help you. Or if you're on campus, we can, we have techs here. I currently have 2 techs in my help desk, and we're looking to get a 3rd tech that, we can certainly come up and help you guys out and assist you on getting connected up to the network.
Sounds good. TV, if we buy a TV for my son or daughter to come to campus this fall to have in their room, is there any specifications they need on their TV?
As long as it depends on, a lot of the TVs that you get now that are smart TVs will have a network connection. Some of them do have wired connections, but you'll want to check on the box to make sure that it's Wi-Fi capable. You may see some literature on there like 802.11g or N or something like that. 802.11 is the wireless standard. So if it's 802.11 capable or wireless capable, then you can add that to the network.
Okay, good. Thank you. I know. So Edna and I are opposite ends of the spectrums. We're both mothers. I'm a mother that is not a gamer. I can play Mario Kart all day if somebody plugs it up and puts their controller in my hand. But Edna is a mama gamer, so she's like, I got this.
100% hooked some of my video games up to the campus wireless. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Yes. So another question, Anthony, we're talking about hardware. We get this question a lot from families. If you're planning on sending your student to campus with a new laptop or tablet or anything like that, what kind of specs? What should we buy or not buy? What do we need to look for?
So honestly, when coming to campus, if you want to print and that kind of stuff, you're going to have an easier time if you're using a Windows machine. But if you buy like a MacBook or something, there may be some hurdles to get over, but you're definitely not going to be restricted from, having the same experience that you would with like a Windows machine. So if you, some of the minimum specs that you want to look for is, anything under 8 gig of RAM, especially if you're writing papers or something like that, that's going to be kind of the bare minimum to go with. So hard drive space, you don't really need a lot of hard drive space, because students, one of the things that we kind of went over in the GROWL documentation is that students do have a OneDrive that they can use. So that's cloud storage, and I think you get up to like 1 terabyte of storage there. So the hard drive space on your computer doesn't have to be a lot. You can save your documents to the OneDrive. Outside of that, maybe a Core i5 processor. That's pretty much about standard. I know you can get a Core i3. What you really want to stay away from when purchasing a computer for campus to use, if it says Celeron anywhere on that laptop, do not buy it. So, yeah, the Core i3s are kind of the lower end 300, 3000 series of the Intel processors. AMD processors are just as good. But yeah, the i3s are kind of the low tier. The i5 are about where, budget and performance really balance each other. And then you've got like the i7 and the i9.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Please.
It only tangentially belongs to him. He was talking about OneDrive. OneDrive is super important, guys. Use it, because if you ever come to the library and you use one of our computers, ours are wiped. Never save anything to our computers. They wipe every day. You write that 15-page paper and you try to come back tomorrow and find it, it'll be gone. That's one of the reasons that OneDrive is so important. Save it to that OneDrive. You can do it in your room with your regular laptop, or you can come and use our desktops, and it's perfectly fine. Also, if something happens and the power goes, OneDrive automatically continuously backs up. You don't lose your work. I've seen that happen, and it's devastating, and I feel horrible. And I don't want that to happen to you all. You're starting, use that OneDrive. Make sure that you keep that paper and get it organized.
Good point. Okay, guys, what questions do you guys have as incoming students, or if any of your families are with you? Do you have any questions about IT or library services?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Absolutely.
The question that I had as far as the library, do you have to set an appointment of a specific time you could come, or you can just come anytime?
You can come anytime. Well, I mean, as long as we're here. We open at 7:30. Our regular hours. We're still working out hours for next semester. To my knowledge, it will be 7:30 until midnight, Monday through Thursday. Friday is 7:30 until 5. Saturday is 9 to 5, and Sunday is 3 to 11. So we're here much more than we're not. And you can make an appointment, because maybe sometimes we're out. Tyler and Haley, who teach a lot of classes, sometimes they're out.
Okay.
If you want somebody specific, but there is always somebody here that will help you. So make an appointment if you want. We're happy to do that. But if you just have a question, come on in. It's fine.
Okay. And another question I had, it's a little off topic. I was saying, is it, are y'all setting it up where it's 8 classes a semester? 8 one semester, 8 the next semester, or you don't know?
I do not know. I know that they're doing 8-week classes. So
Okay.
in an 8-week class, you can fit 2 classes into one regular semester. But I don't know how many that they have you doing, whether it be 2. our 8-week classes, which are much shorter, condensed.
Okay.
Sometimes it's much better though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your advisor, if you haven't talked with your advisor yet, you will. Once you complete your GROWL Canvas course, have you gone through the GROWL Canvas course and completed the little quiz?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you talked to an advisor yet?
No, ma'am.
Okay. They will be contacting you soon. And I'll actually follow through and find out who they are and tell them that you're interested in looking for your schedule and had some questions on that. But they are working through those and making schedules as we speak. That's kind of why they're not in the room here today. We've got a team of people working with students and making their schedules all day, every day right now. So that's just the season for that. So they'll be getting to you soon if they haven't yet. And those are all those questions your advisor can help you with. Any other questions for these folks, or just a general question before we move on with the conversation? You can type it in the chat. I won't call you out, or you can just turn on your microphone whenever you're ready.
Can I just chirp in real quick with one more thing? We were talking about laptops and library stuff, and I'm not sure if we actually mentioned, I didn't catch it if we did. But another thing we do at the library is we have laptops here that we can check out to you guys for free, that students are able to borrow and use and then just bring back to us. Now we do ask with those, we've got a couple specific rules. I won't get into everything here, but the big thing with those is we do ask that you remain in the library while you're using them. And we're still kind of working out how we're gonna make that whole process work with all the COVID and making sure everything is safe and sterilized and that kind of thing. But fingers crossed, that should be an option for you guys. So if you're considering getting a laptop, but maybe that's not something that you can swing right now, don't worry. We've got normal desktop computers in the library, but we've also got laptops that you can use too.
Yeah, he's right. We have them. We will make them available. And they'll be clean. We'll make sure that they're sanitized every time that we hand them out. That's one of the things that he's talking about is working on. I'm working on a few other things with the laptops too. It may get even better. But right now we have them. They are in here. They are also connected to the printers. So typically the main computer area with the desktops is louder. Students are louder. That's the floor we're on. It's always going to be the loudest floor. So if you need something quieter, you need a place that you can study and focus, or if you want to listen to something, because even though it's the loud floor, we don't let you like listen to things without headphones on the desktop computers. If you don't have headphones or you just need to go somewhere else, you can go to a study room and turn it on without headphones and use a laptop, which is great. But they will connect to the printers. You can go up to one of the other floors. You can be quiet. You can type your paper. You can focus and do whatever it is that is best for you to get what you need done. And then you can come downstairs and get your print. So yeah, whatever makes you happy, that's what we have to work with.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on, but still use your chat or just kind of yell at us and let us get our attention, and we'll absolutely answer those questions as they pop up. If you're like me, if it pops up in your brain, you need to kind of say it out loud before you lose it and move on. Anna, you did mention something. You talked about the library. The main floor of the library is, you said it gets loud. So I'm like, librarians, they wear cardigans and they shush you. That's what they did when I was in library school. It's like, don't fold the pages in the book, and don't eat while you're looking at when you're reading the books, and you got to be quiet and stuff. So what is myths? Debunk some myths, common myths about the library.
Most of that, with the exception of folding down your pages. Oh, that's no good. We may or may not wear cardigans. I was cold. I might have put one on. I may wear one every day. I won't lie. I totally wear cardigans. I love them. That being said, I mean, most of us are really loud. Librarians as a whole, Tyler, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but as a whole, librarians are pretty loud, especially newer librarians. We tend to just be mouthy. It's how we do. We also have less of a focus on books. You're going to see us with our nose in our books. We do like books, but we're not there to hook you up with a book and that's it. If a book is what gets you what you need, that's what we're going to give you. We're there to answer questions. We're there to fill you with information. That is really what we love to do. And we will give it to you in whatever format it takes to get the information to you. It doesn't have to be a book. It can be electronic, it can be sound, it can be pictures. We don't care. We're concerned about a much broader spectrum than what people think that we are concerned with. We are I think of us as kind of like that back end process. You go to the faculty, they teach you things, they help you do what you need to do, and then you leave that classroom and you still don't necessarily know what you're doing or what direction you need to go. Then you come to us and you help us, and we help you formulate that direction, that way that you want to know. We love technology. That's why IT and library get along so well, because we love what they do. And we like it, and we like to play with all of those things as well. So like, we just like to do a little bit of everything. We're not quiet. We don't typically wear buns. We may wear cardigans. We do like Converse tennis shoes. But yeah, we're just not exactly, I don't know what your high school librarians were like. We're not quite the same.
It's not how you roll, is it?
It's definitely not how
we roll. Tyler?
Yeah, I'll also shout out real quick. You mentioned like food in the library and being like real strict and stuff about that. That's also not how we roll. Absolutely. College is weird. Sometimes you've got classes super early, you miss breakfast, you got to grab something quick before your next class, that kind of a deal. Eat what you want. You can come on in, eat. We actually just last year opened up a coffee cart in the library, which we were very excited about. So you could have come in to get free coffee. Unfortunately, we have to close that for now, at least until we figure out a safe way to make that available to folks. But I say that basically just to show that we're open about like food and drink and that stuff in the library. Mostly we just ask that you're not like chowing down messily in front of one of our computers or something. But yeah, but if you need a munch on something, if you need a snack, that's totally fine. Just pick up after yourself, that's all.
Yeah, you're big kids, you know how to pick it up. Also, like the pizza delivery people, they know our address. We do not care. This happens a lot. It's study time, it's 10 o'clock at night, you gotta eat and you gotta study and you wanna do it in the library. You can call them and tell them and they'll bring it to the library. That's not a problem. Put it in the garbage can when you're done, it's fine. So yeah, it's a place to study, it's a place to focus, and we try to make it so that you can do that however you need to do that.
Perfect. I didn't think about pizza delivery to the library. That's a thing. When you're talking research that's a big word. Research, that's a heavy word. Research, right? That's what scientists do and doctors do. It's research. So you've mentioned research several times. What does that look like to a freshman? I know it may depend on class. So how does that, depending on the course or their major, give us a couple scenarios. Like what does that mean? What does research look like?
Depending on their classes, let's go with the majority freshman experience, because there are exceptions to this in every major, in every teacher. It's a faculty thing sometimes, it depends. But freshman year is the time to get your feet wet. It's the time to kind of warm you up to it. As you get further along, the papers get bigger, the research gets more, but you start a little bit smaller to get you comfortable with what you're doing. Like master's programs, you may be doing 20, 25-page papers. By that point, it sounds awful now, but by the point that you get to that, it's not as bad. So whenever you're a freshman, you're kind of learning the format. You're learning how things are set up. That's what we're there to help you learn, how your papers should look. Maybe your papers are 1, 2, 3, 5 pages long, not as many references. They're the types of things that teach you the format, teach you how to do what you're going to do in later years. So it's not horrible. I mean, well, some people do, but you may not want to write 5 pages. It may seem like an awful thing right now. Or read a lot of literature to find the information that you want to say. But it's a good way to get comfortable with it. It's that starting point.
You brought up, I saw Tyler. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hop in real quick. It varies professor to professor. As you're getting into classes and as you're starting to write papers, they're going to ask you to back up what you say with facts or information or references to something else. That's just how it is, because it's not acceptable to make a claim or to make some big statement without backing it up with some kind of information. And so that's where we come in with helping you find that. Now, again, depending on the professor, they might have very strict or loose rules on what constitutes good information or what constitutes good research. And so we can kind of work with you to navigate the different things that we've got on our website, and the kind of resources that we have access to, and we can show you kind of how to navigate that, and where to find some of that good, reputable information to back up what you're saying. And we can also kind of give you some heads up on things to avoid or kind of pitfalls to watch out for and that kind of a thing. And yeah, like Edna said, as you go on in classes, that's going to ramp up. Your professors will get more strict with what they do and don't allow in terms of that. And that's fine. And that's what we're here to help with, is kind of navigating that and making sure you get as many points as you can on your papers and that kind of a thing.
And an important thing to remember when you're doing this sort of thing, when you're doing research, resources are good. Not every idea has to come straight from you. When you're in college, it's actually even better if it's not your idea to some degree. Like, we get a lot of students that come in and go, I see this research, but I had this idea without seeing this research, so that's good. No, guys. It's even better because somebody else also thinks this thing. You have this background information. The point of research is to say, here's what lots of people think. Here's what lots of ideas are. And then it's your job to understand all of those ideas to bring everything together. So when you do research, you're reading to understand. And so that's one of the things that is very exciting to get to teach you, is to how to read all the information and put it all together.
Good. You guys actually said that much more eloquently than I was going to ask that question. Because I was like, okay, research is that big, heavy, scary word. You know, what does that mean? What is that? And then also you know, imagine that first year, even me in my graduate program, I was paralyzed by the fear of plagiarism. I was like, okay, it's a new program, it's new professors, it's a new experience. And, you know, you're just paralyzed by the fear of it, even though accidentally. So, that may lead into something that you go over in the personal librarian program. I haven't forgot IT. We're getting back to IT, Anthony. But the personal librarian program, is that something you can kind of go into in detail, kind of defining plagiarism, and then kind of how, you know, your intellectual property and that sort of thing, because those are some big issues that you kind of have to discuss and work through to figure out.
Yeah, those are really big things. And I'm going to let Tyler in just a minute talk about what we do traditionally with our incoming students and teaching them. We kind of touch on, but I'll talk about plagiarism and some of the other things now, because we talk about that in general, but that is something that isn't beaten in with, I guess, with us meeting the freshmen. That is something that is steady throughout your entire time here. Plagiarism is a very, very serious thing, but it's easy to avoid. That's the thing about plagiarism. It's so easy not to plagiarize. Do the research and credit the people that did the thing. It doesn't have to be your idea. It's even better if it's somebody else's along with what you think. So give credit where credit is due. And that's what we do. Part of what we do is teach you how to do that. Make sure that you credit these people and credit these sources. Plagiarism is probably one of the most easiest things to avoid in all of your 4 years of campus. It really is. Tyler, go ahead and tell them all about the thing, because I don't think we need to talk more about plagiarism right now, other than don't do it. Let us help you avoid it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, the last bit I'll say on plagiarism is basically just like a plug, that in your like English 110, English 111 classes, either Haley or I, or sometimes both of us, depending on how we divvy things up, we regularly go into those classes and talk about things. And that's one of the topics that we talk about there. So you'll definitely be getting our long version of that at some point. It's not something we need to go in right now. But the personal librarian thing, yeah, absolutely. So traditionally, the past couple of years, we've been doing what's called a personal librarian program, where all the incoming freshmen, everyone meets with one of the librarians, usually in like a one-on-one setting. Sometimes we let like pairs or really small groups go, depending, but we usually encourage folks to meet with us one-on-one, mostly just to give you guys a chance to meet one of us face-to-face. Throughout your time here, you're going to need to use library resources. It's just required to do your classes and to your papers and all that kind of a thing. And that just gives you a chance to meet with one of us, so at least you know one face and one person who can help you out with that. We are still working out how we are going to do that this semester. Again, with COVID and all that, we're trying to work out the safest way to do that. Like I mentioned, that used to be an in-person one-on-one meeting where you would come in and sit down with us in front of a computer, and we'd show you a bunch of different things, and we talk about a couple different things. It's usually like 15 or 20 minutes long, somewhere around there. And then we kind of send you on your way. We're honestly still working on how we're going to do that this semester. We just want to make sure things are as safe and as on a level as possible. So you'll definitely be hearing from us at some point how we're going to navigate that. But no matter how we end up working that out, if there's something that we don't cover there, or if there's questions that you still have, I would invite you to still just shoot us a quick email or something, or give us a call, or come in and talk to us. And absolutely, we can help out with any other questions.
There are many, many resources in the library. The librarians are one of them, and they can help you. That's what we're here for. And if there are things that you need that you feel like you don't understand, like, even if it's databases, maybe you assume everybody thinks that you know what you're doing, or you think that you should know what you're doing. We get that a lot. A student will be like, well, we've touched a database in high school, so obviously we know what we're doing. We have a lot of databases, and there's some very different ones, and they search differently. Let us help you. We'll sit down with you. You have a paper topic, we'll talk your paper topic through and help you search to show you how to do it. You all are all capable of doing it, but you don't learn through osmosis. Somebody has to help you do it, and that's what we're here for. So if we can do it online, we'll do it online. If we can do it through phone, through chat, whatever, we will. If you need to come in and we're open, by all means, come in and let us show you what to do.
Absolutely. Thank you. We had Jonathan. I'm going to put you on the spot real quick in IT. Jonathan's our Director of IT Services. If we've covered IT, and we're still in our question and answer session, and we're getting ready to go back and talk about some more IT topics. But if you don't care to introduce yourself, Jonathan, and just I know you don't know what to repeat or not repeat, but I just wanted to give them another face and another resource and a name. So if you don't care to just tell us about what you do on campus.
Yeah, so I'm the Director of IT here at the University of Pikeville. I started back in September 2019, and I'm still getting familiar with a few of the systems and stuff we have in place. But this is also my third campaign here at UPike. I left and worked at a regional bank for about 5 years, and then came back to here. We're working on trying to develop a work study program here. I'm a work study from this department, and I did work study between 2007 and 2008 when I was an undergrad here, and it was probably one of the most beneficial things I did for my own career, and I feel really strongly about it. I want to develop that program again. So, if any of you all are interested, once we get back going on campus and you want to get into work study with the IT department, it's definitely a door that I'm trying to get opened up and try to develop that program. Other than that, I'm usually trying to manage projects, manage, develop out workflows with Anthony here, and try to make things more efficient, make best use of our money, and all that fun stuff. But it's always changing, and there's a lot to it. But I think they may have talked about Helpdesk and those things, those services that are available to you. Helpdesk is always the best this is the primary way to get a hold of us to help you out with your issues and whatnot. Where we're bouncing around from here, yonder, and there, it's kind of hard to keep up with day to day. It all kind of starts merging together. That's why we use Helpdesk to try to keep things in order and make sure we service the people that need help. So, but I don't want to get too far into it and repeat some of the things Anthony's probably already shared with you. But yeah, that's. Is there anything else?
I think that's good. Kind of what I wanted you to do. I appreciate that. What Edna kind of talked about, no matter where you are, especially in the changes or the ever-changing environments that we are adjusting and planning based on what the news and the advice of national experts tell us in regards to COVID and safety. So Edna talked about those in the library physically, and then how you have online services. So some of those services that were in person, there may be options for online, and the same for IT. So any words of advice as far as the preferred method to contact IT? If I'm out, it's move-in day, or I'm here a weekend, I can't log in. Just go back and reiterate step one. What is the best way, on campus or off, to request service, and just reiterate the top 3 reasons that a student may need to contact you straight out of the gate for IT help?
Well, first of all, I guess kind of listing out some of the benefits of coming here. Anthony, did you talk about Office 365 and those things?
So we touched a little bit on email, and then we touched on OneDrive. So the importance of OneDrive and saving to OneDrive. But as far as the Office 365 or on the hub or anything like that, we haven't touched on that yet.
Okay, so some of the benefits that you got with coming to UPike, we offer some discounted software with using on the hub. We're going to share that, should be shared in the documentation that we have with GROWL, but there's some links there that you can use for discounted software. But you also get Office, the whole Office suite for free for coming here. It's just part of your email address and everything. You log into office.com using your UPike email address, and in the top right corner it says install Office, and you can install it on up to 5 devices, and that's just a benefit to you. So and then as far as like move-in day and how to contact us with day-to-day things, the preferred method is Helpdesk. So there's a Helpdesk URL that's out there. It's in the GROWL documentation.
Yeah, I've also I've put that into the link there. I put the link in the chat as well for Helpdesk. And the number to call us on Helpdesk is there too.
Yeah. So the preferred method is using the URL and logging in there and everything. But then sometimes, if it's a password related issue, we also have the mypassword.upike.edu portal to help manage your password. If you forget it, you can reset it on your own and things like that, to just kind of empower you all to be able to manage your credentials. But also, if all else fails, there's the contact number that he posted as well. And again, we may be out on campus and stuff, so somebody will be here to answer your call, but someone may have to give you a call back too. So, but we're here to help, and you know, that's kind of the way that we can go about supporting you. And then anything else I need to touch on there, staff? Is there anything else you think that
I think we've covered the basics, don't you think, Anthony, of all the services? It's kind of one of those, I don't want to give just kind of an overall view of what services you can think about, but it's IT is one of those things, well, and unfortunately library too sometimes, in that you don't think about it until you need it, until something breaks or there's a deadline or homework's due, you know. So it's one of those things that you kind of plan now and save those numbers in your phone, put those where they're handy. And then you're thinking, oh yeah, I remember they can help me with that. IT and library are both great frontline resources to ask questions, because if they aren't the people that can help you directly, they know who can. So they are obviously, you know, all the campus, you know, we can all help you and point you in the right direction, but these folks are really good frontline that they can answer most of your questions, and definitely the ones related to their areas. So I was going to open it up for questions from our students or families that we've got tuning in. You can, again, unmute and ask away or use the chat feature. And then about IT and information technology or library services, or just anything that's going on right now that you're thinking about, have on your mind as you start to think about as fall comes closer. So any general questions about coming to campus? I should have our Jeopardy music here, shouldn't I? I've been told more than once that I jump in and feel the awkward silence. So I'm trying not to do that.
But you are. How about this? I'm going to jump in and break some awkward silence because I'm also that person. I just didn't admit it. It's also a benefit. The library, I may be wrong. You can tell me if I am. We're open far past any other department on campus. Most campus departments close somewhere between 5 and 8. We don't. We're here all evening long. So if you have questions, and I think that's why we answer so many questions. It's why we like to answer questions. We're here to try to troubleshoot, to try to do those things when nobody else is. So don't think that just because it's 9:45 at night, everything's shut down, that you don't have an option. Now, if you need to know what your teacher thinks about something, maybe we can't tell you that, but people try. They 100% try that. But you can come ask. If we don't know it, we'll tell you we don't know, but we'll find somebody that will.
You got security. That's it. You guys in security. Close it down.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I wanted to bring up. I didn't want to throw Edna in the library under the bus there. You know, IT is normally, our hours are anywhere from like 7:30 to 5. So if you call, someone will be here to answer that, you know, to pick up the call. If you put in a support ticket, you know, after 5 o'clock, it may not be until the next day. So depending on the criticality of the ticket, but yeah, normally, like I said, and like Edna has mentioned, you know, the library has been very beneficial to the IT department, and especially in troubleshooting some of these issues that students have. So I'm not saying that, you know, you guys are IT when we're not here, but you know, or if you have any issues, go see the library. But yeah, definitely, if there's something that that they can help you out with, if you have a question, you know, they're always more than welcome to help out, and you know, like I said, they've been a big help. But yeah, just to reiterate, the hours for the help desk is normally around 8 to 5, give or take 30 minutes or so.
We can help with a lot of basic tech issues. We prefer that you go to IT if IT is open. That's what they do. We want them to be able to do what they do. Not that we don't, it's not that we mind to do it. It's just everybody wants to be able to do their own job. Nobody wants somebody else doing it for them. So if they're here, let them do it. Let them get the things done. If they're not, and we can do it, there are things we can't do. But if there's things that we can do, we sure will try. And sometimes we surprise ourselves with what we can do. So yeah, if you, like I said, anything that you have a problem with, if nobody else is here, please come to us. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, and I guess to sum that up, we work well with each other. So we help each other out.
Yeah.
And to kind of hit Anthony's point real quick is, you know, a lot of our systems, we have some automated systems that notify us of outages and things like that, I mean, I got it on my phone. I monitor it all the time. So depending on the issue, always remember, you know, Helpdesk has a human behind it. We see it, we monitor it. So don't think that, you know, it's just kind of automated thing and you're not going to get any contact. If anything, we see when it pings us a notification or something. So there's always a human behind the services that we direct you to. So don't ever think that we ignore you there. So I just wanted to point that out.
Exactly.
And speaking to chat or to their help desk, we also have a live chat on the library website. So if you're looking for help, if you go to our library website over on the right hand corner, there is a button for live chat. If there's a box open, somebody's there. Like one of us is actually there and we're there to help you. That's not automated. Sometimes that won't be open, and if it's not, we're 100% not there. You can call us or email us. But if that's there, you're going to get one of us. And so if it's something that you just need a quick question, you just need a quick help, that's a great way to get a hold of us if you don't want to use your phone or you don't want to spend your time emailing.
Good. I think that's a good place to wrap up, because I think that's exactly the point of this welcome webinar series, is to show you the humans behind the emails and the phone calls and the cell phone numbers and chats. So we are the ones here to help you, and we want to make sure that you have the information you need. Please make sure, if you haven't already, complete your GROWL Canvas course. And once you complete that quiz, your first year student success advisor will be contacting you in the days following. But there is also that GROWL Canvas course is a resource you need to look at throughout the summer. There's lots of information in there just past that quiz. There's information, there's a whole IT course within Canvas that you're enrolled in, IT orientation course. So the guides and the how-tos and the helps and the step-by-step processes Anthony mentioned earlier about adding your game consoles and your Wi-Fi to the Wi-Fi system and putting Wi-Fi on your phone and connecting to our campus networks. All that is in there. Contact information's in there. So there's a lot of things you can find and figure out on your own, because we've provided you the information, but we do want you to feel welcome to contact us, the humans. So we're here no matter what, and make sure that never wonder or worry about anything as an incoming student. Find a face, friendly face, and they will help you or point you in the right direction. That's another huge advantage of coming to a small private liberal arts college is we're here. We know us, and we do know us. We know you, and you know us. So I think that's about it. Anything else to add, guys, on the end? You guys good? Good.
I just want to tack something on here at the end real quick.
Okay.
So you mentioned the GROWL orientation and the IT course of that. So the mypassword.upike.edu is one of the most important steps that you can do is fill out your security questions. And anytime, that will be your key to resetting your password should you ever forget it on your own. Now you can always call us, but that is one of the most important steps that you can do is remember the information that you put in and fill out the security questions for your password.
Okay. I think we're good. So thank you, guys, and until next time. Bye.
Sounds good. See ya.
Bye.